Well, hey guys, good morning. Aaron Walker here, coming to you live, not from the Greenway, but from a beautiful setting. I've been hanging out this morning with my accountability group. Every Friday morning we meet at 6 a.m. for about an hour and a half. I just finished up with those guys. It's been an incredible morning. I hope you've had a good morning as well. This past week has been crazy awesome for me. I got the privilege to interview a great guy named Brogan. Chris Brogan is an 8-time New York Times bestseller. He's written the book, The Impact Equation, that we've been studying and reading now for about 30 days, and I had the privilege of interviewing him. One of the great guys in the community, Ken Carfagno, is about a month old in the community. He's a huge contributor, and I had the privilege of interviewing him as man in the middle. And what a great experience that was. And all this has kind of highlighted something to me this week as I've been thinking through some of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. One of them is I've titled this, Are You Willing to Profit from Others' Mistakes? And you know, as a businessman, I've had so many opportunities to profit from others' mistakes. And I want to encourage you to consider, when you're doing business deals, are you profiting from their mistakes? And I can tell you, case in point, where I didn't make the right choice. In construction, in the pawn shop business, in coaching, whatever it is, I'm like, well, they should have been paying attention. It was their oversight. And I'm like, you know, quite honestly, that's not being the man of integrity that I should be. Recently, I was challenged with that as well. There's a great guy here locally named Tracy Carter, owns Carter Electric Company, one of the greatest electricians in the middle Tennessee. And I've hired him to do a lot of work for me. And he came about a month ago and he did some work, and then he came back a couple of weeks ago and did some more work. I finally got the invoice from him, and I was researching the invoice, and I noticed that the work that he had done previously wasn't on there. So I called him and I said, Tracy, you've made a mistake. And he said, oh, I'll fix it. What is it? And I said, well, you didn't put the work you had done a month ago on my invoice. There was this pause on the phone for a second. He's like, you're saying I didn't charge you enough. And I'm going to be honest with you, I had to think about it for a second. I thought, well, he should have been paying attention. But the truth is he did the work and I wanted to pay him. And he said, you know what, Abram, just forget it. I'm going to comp you for doing that. Well, it made me feel good because I did the right thing. The same way with another guy named Mastin. Ron is the guy that takes care of my yard. Ron sends his guys out there, and he's rarely out there himself. But we did some work around our house that required more landscape work, more, cutting the grass. And I called him and I said, listen, you need to charge me more. And the phone was silent. I didn't think he was there. He said, what are you saying? I said, well, what I'm saying is y'all are doing more work. You may not be aware of it. And you need to charge. Don't rob me. Don't hold me up. But I want to be fair with you, and I want to be honest with you. He said, man, I really appreciate you calling me, Aaron. I'm not telling you I'm a saint. Listen, there are so many times that I've not made the right choice. And that's why I'm trying to encourage you to make the right choice. A lot of the times we'll rationalize this and we'll say, hey, it was their incompetence or it was their oversight. They should be paying better attention. And I just feel it's incumbent on us as men of character, men that are trying to have great integrity, to bring people's attention to maybe an oversight, maybe something they didn't see. I'm going to tell you, the greater the stakes, the greater the challenge. The more money that it's going to cost you, the bigger the challenge that it's going to be for you to call them and tell them, hey, you've made a mistake. I just want to encourage you to do the right thing. That's it. On this journey that we're going through in life, I want to encourage you in every arena of your life to do the things that would bring glory and honor to God, first and foremost. But second of all, that you can stand before your wife or your children and say, hey, you know what? I did the right thing today. Sometimes it's going to cost you. I'll just tell you right now, you're going to pay a healthy price for doing the right things. But let's face it, let's be real. If you do what I'm talking about, and I didn't call Tracy and tell him, hey, you didn't charge me, or I didn't call Ron and say, hey, you need to charge me what's fair in this situation, I may as well drive down to his shop, open his cash register up, take money out and put it in my pocket. and walk off. You may or may not see it that way. I'm going to encourage you to think through it because I think it's the same. I think we got to be careful in every transaction that we do. And at the end of the day, I always say when you're replaying the day in your mind, did you do the right thing? You can lay there in bed with a clear conscience knowing that you did the right thing. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I hope your weekend is awesome. Let's get out today and end strong, and let's have a great weekend. Aaron Walker coming to you live. Hey, I'm at a really pretty spot this morning. Even got a little water. What do you think I'm going to do today? It's not going to be fish. I got some honeydew things to do. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day.